Good day to all of you. Welcome. I'm so happy to share some idea on your project. Anyone of you come and introduce about this project? Let me know about it.
Yeah, sir. So, Dhruti, will you please proceed?
Yes. Hello, my name is Dhriti. I'm from 9A, and we are doing this to raise an awareness upon the mismanagement of fossil fuels and development a solution to counter it. Yes, Aditi, please proceed.
Yeah, so I am Aditi, myself, one of the presenters and organizers of this event, and we are under the main topic of conflict and peace. Because of the mismanagement of resources, there are a lot of conflicts that are arising. So that's why we're going to talk about this topic. Stress, proceed, stress.
Yes, I am Shreyas of 9A. The reason we are here is to essentially find out the main causes of the instability of the oil market just in general and see if we can develop a solution to better aid everyone. Now, the thing is, sir, could you please introduce yourself before we start the interview?
I'm Dr. Chandrachud Sivaramakrishnan, Professor and Head of Department of Economics, Vistas. And I'm the expert for the environmental pollution. And this is a very great opportunity for me to share my idea for this particular project. Let me start. Best of my knowledge, I will share my idea.
Yes, sir.
Will you start?
So that
you can ask your question. I will try to answer.
Yes, sir. This part of our primary research for expert interview. Shreyas, can you proceed with the first question?
Yes. Who do you think is overall responsible for the oil changes, for the oil shortages and the price changes? Like overall, who do you think affects it the most?
Will you repeat the question again?
Of course, sir. The question is, who do you think is responsible for the overall oil shortages and price instability? Like, is it the government, some companies, or the public, or all three of
them? Actually, we are running short of energy only. Why? Because there are two sides. One is from the demand side, another from supply side. There is over demand and lesser supply. We can make both sides. We have to make both this end to meet. Our population 50 to 60 years back is only 30 to 32 crores. Now it is 132 crores. More than 4 times they get multiplied. So our demand for energy is keep on increasing. So there is a shortage of energy we have to produce. So who is responsible is our developmental activities is responsible. Each and every one of in this country is responsible because he is using the energy. So because of over demand and lesser supply, there is a shortage in the energy. So we cannot blame a particular person who is responsible. We are responsible for the shortage.
Thank you, sir. Aditi, would you continue with the question?
Yeah, sir. So, do we really need oil at all, sir? Because we have a lot of renewable energy resources being developed each day. Like it is developed all around the world. But at the same time, can we get out of this fossil fuel production cycle if we could? Because the renewable energy sources are really expensive for the public to afford. Is there any way for that, sir? Do we really need oil, sir?
It's a very novel idea. For this, I want to give some basic idea about this fossil fuel system. Then only you can understand. you started with whether we need this oil for getting the energy. Keep it in mind, for any production, we need 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital, and organization. The rest of the 3 is manpower and money power and, of course, administration. But the first factor of production is land. That is a source for energy. We can extract water, we can extract oil, we can extract coal, everything coming from land. If you just see around your room, there is an umbrella, there is a bureau, watch, button, everything is manufactured. Where do you get the thing? All the sources from the land only. It is inevitable to stop the oil production. Why? Because all the things that we need to be manufactured, for that we need energy. The energy may be renewable or non-renewable, but we are forced to get that particular oil energy. It is inevitable. We can reduce to some extent, that is possible, but all of a sudden it is not possible to stop it. Non-renewable
Thank you, sir.
energy is inevitable for us to survive.
One question, sir.
Yes.
While we may not be able to do it today, obviously because it's just so vast and we're too dependent upon it, do you believe that at some point in the future we may eventually get freed from non-renewables like oil?
Actually, as I said earlier, the energy is divided into 2. One is renewable and non-renewable. What we have this fossil fuel system is non-renewable energy, but we can convert this particular energy into the renewable energy by using biogas and solar system, and we can produce artificial energy. So we can have some close substitutes, but totally it's not possible. 100% evasion is not possible. To some extent, we can get that particular natural energy mainly from solar. That is possible, but it is not at all possible to eradicate the non-renewable energy. Of course, it will affect the climate, and a lot of pollutants are there. Even some public health issues are there. It's a very big challenge for the government to face this, but 100% evasion is not possible. With some renewable energy, we can substitute.
Thank you, sir. Riti, yes, Riti, your question, please.
Yes. How do you think this issue can be solved, like this oil problem?
As I said earlier, with the renewable energy only we can substitute. What kind of renewable energy means? The individual has to change. We have to reduce our consumption. That is the easiest way to gain the energy, and we can give a good solution for this particular challenge. How we can reduce? There are a number of ways, because give more priority for agriculture product. For example,
Yes, sir.
biogas, and cultivate more. These things definitely will give a better solution. Apart from that, the main wastage of energy for the food processing, refrigeration, and that is the highest level, because that food processing industry nearly taking 12% of total energy of the globe. But if you stop reducing the maintaining the meat, means it will affect the public health. So what we are saying, go for the organic product. Suppose if you want to reduce further, you buy the product locally. Don't expect from far away other state or other country or other continent. Don't go further. What is produced locally, if you start buying, then there is a considerable and sustainable level of energy consumption will be reduced. And one more easiest way is we have to avoid the plastic and synthetic products. Why? Because it is not decaying. It affects land, water, as well as the air. Why? Because the extraction of that particular fuel definitely affects not only the air but also the water. Our health is get deteriorating. The life expectancy is very less. So better to use renewable energy, that too, like agro based instead of using plastic, now you use paper tumbler, use some other thing which is in organic way, not inorganic. That is the best solution for reducing this particular problem.
Yeah, sir.
Sir, may I go next?
Pardon? Any?
Sir, may I go next?
I'm not able to hear. Will you repeat your question?
Sir,
Any other?
okay, should we invest money? Okay, the question is, should we invest money in either extracting the crude oil, producing it, or transporting it, or something else entirely? Which do you think is most important?
To answer this particular question, you should have some basic idea about the economy. Any economy is divided into three sectors. One is agriculture, second one is industry, third one is service sector. The contribution for the gross domestic product is mainly from the industry sector and the service sector. This industry sector and service sector should perform well means we need energy, because we have to run the industry, we have to run the trucks and other automobiles. For that we need energy. So it is mandatory to invest for extraction of that particular fuel, and we have to invest in mining. Otherwise, we cannot get the energy. But unfortunately, the developmental activity and environmental pollution are twins. Whenever you go for some developmental activity, the equal amount of pollution will be there in the group. It may be land erosion, or it may be water pollution, it may be air pollution. But investing money is mandatory. We cannot escape from this. We have to invest.
Yeah,
No,
sir.
One thing, sir. So, can you clarify which one do you think is most important? Producing it, transporting it, or extracting the crude oil?
See, all three are problem. Why? Because in a coal mine, some kilometers depth you are drilling, and the soil get eroded. On that particular area, the land get polluted. That particular area, the water is not a right quality level to use it. Skin disease will be there. Public health is there. All three are having a number of challenges, because extraction is 50%. Another 25% is because of the transportation. Transporting that fuel or the energy through either railways or roadways or seaways. And because of these three, there will be a spillage and there will be a wastage, there is a air pollution is there, and we find difficult to transport one place from the other. That is why I give solution. You use the product locally, especially from country to country. If you transport the energy, it should be with the fleet only, fleet company only have to. But because of the transportation through, say, there is a ocean acidification, and people are not handling properly, there is a evaporation of those. It affects the environment. The climatic change is more than the expected level. So what I want to give solution for this, how to minimize the problem of these three, is produce locally. Don't try to extract more from all places in the globe. There will be some few areas which is near to you. Each country try to be self-sufficient. That is the best solution. Instead of borrowing from the Gulf countries or America or Europe, you don't try to get from them, or don't export to that. But it may affect the international transaction. But still, in order to safeguard our environment, it is better to produce own. That is, domestic production of energy is better than the global energy generation. Is there any other question?
Yes, sir. Aditi, can you explain question 6?
What are the schemes that government have? Is it?
Yes,
what
sir.
is that
What
question?
is the best past actions of the government?
See, as far as government of India is concerned, they are trying their level best to give solution for this particular problem. And one particular scheme called Pradhan Mantri Kisan Urja Suraksha Evam Madhyaban. It is in Hindi. Actually, this particular scheme try to produce 30,800 megawatts in order to increase the agricultural production, giving job without using the energy. And one more scheme called solar rooftop. Each residential houses may get one solar pan, and it can get their own energy, which may reduce considerably about the fuel energy wastages, and give those electrical energy and other petroleum energy to the industry. For that, these two schemes are the best scheme given by the government of India. When compared with the developed countries like America, Canada, or Japan, this particular scheme, being a developing country, we are very successful in that. And using that particular scheme, they have introduced one more sub scheme called Green Energy Corridor Scheme. That is, public are encouraged to use biogas. Don't try to use the petroleum or coal energy. You can use cow dung or any wood for cooking and other purposes. So we are very much successful in these schemes, and we have implemented several schemes, but these three are very successful compared to other schemes. Any other question?
Yes, sir. What are the main factors that contribute to the mismanagement of oil extraction, transportation, and supply?
See, at every level there is a mismanagement. Why? Because in economics we used to call it as economies of scale. For your better understanding, I will give a simple example. Suppose you want to cook for 4 or 5 people. It is easy in the kitchen. Your mother will complete the task. Suppose you are inviting some guests, another 5 or 6, totally 10 to 12 people to be cooked. Then there should be some preparation should be there. Because prior day you have to inform your mother that some guest is coming. Suppose you are conducting a function for a particular, say, birthday. 30 people are going to have a lunch. All of a sudden, on that day, will you plan? You have to tell 1 or 2 days earlier. Why? Because you have to bring the vegetables, you have to prepare, you have to make arrangement for vessels and other things. Am I right? Suppose you are conducting a marriage for 500 people. Then it is not easy to complete within a day. So you need at least 3 to 4 weeks for preparation. The same logic you have to apply in the energy. All of a sudden, within a day, we cannot stop it. We have to plan, because this is a very major task that it may be extraction, it may be a transportation, it may be a supply, or it may be the mining process. Whichever be, all of a sudden, it is not possible. We have to plan, we have to implement, and there should be some expert committee to evaluate whether it is feasible or not, what is the viability. So if we plan and 1 year plan or 2 year plan, and step by step we have to implement that, then only it is possible to answer for the challenges for extraction or transportation. One fine day, I want to stop all non-renewable energy means it's not possible. Why? Because every day we have to cook and eat. Every day we need to go to school, colleges or offices. For that we are using the vehicle. People are not ready to go for in the public transport. Because if all the people are using public transport, means nearly 30% of energy will be saved. But whether we are doing, even 7th or 8th student, they are not using the cycle. They are asked the parents to drop me either in a scooter or a car. Then how energy will be conserved? So the problem, within a day it is not possible. Even very short period like 1 month or 2 months not possible. This is a process to complete minimum 2 to 3 years, and that too there should be a system to eradicate. We have to substitute the renewable energy for this particular fossil fuel system, and step by step process is mandatory, and each every one of the citizen of India should cooperate. If one person is having that awareness and the next man is not bothering about it, definitely what he saved he will spend. So it is not only the mere, it is not a scientific solution, it is something related with the emotion, and you should have that particular intention. There should be an intellectual power to understand why we are suffering and what are the climatic changes is happening because of that, what are the adverse effects that we are facing, how we are reducing our standard of living. All these things, there should be some awareness program should be, because out of that 100% of education, the GCR, we used to call it as a gross enrollment rate, only 27%. Those who are completed 12th and joining higher education is only 27%. Then what about the rest of the 73? They are not educated. They don't know about what is the value of the energy, and they will mismanaging the energy. Not only the industry or the entrepreneur or the government, it's mere the public. Public should know that this energy is needed. Energy neither be converted nor be destroyed. One form of energy will move to another form. That another form is the environmental pollution. So in order to, you should not waste that particular energy. We should use in a constructive way. Better to use renewable energy. That is the only solution, and it is not possible. All of a sudden we cannot stop it. Step by step we can improve. Thank you.
Sir,
Yes.
real quick, sir. There's Aditya is in the waiting room as well. She can't speak. Can you quickly just add her?
You come again, Aditi?
Aditi, she has another device in the waiting room which she uses to speak. Can you add that?
I will admit. I will admit.
Thank you.
Yes, Aditi.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so my question is that, yeah, so there are a lot of factors that lead to the mismanagement of resources, right? Like
sorry, Aditi.
that contribute to the utter mismanagement of oil extraction, transportation, and.
Will you repeat?
Sir, can you hear me?
Your voice is not audible.
Aditi.
It is breaking.
Sir, can you hear me now?
Please. I'm hearing.
Okay, sir. So, what do you think are the main factors that contribute to mismanagement of any type of resource, be it fossil fuels or water? What do you think are the main factors that lead to this?
See, there are many factors to be considered. Why? Because there are a number of pollutants. the climatic change is creating the greenhouse gas, and the air is polluted, and water is polluted. There is a ocean acidification, and there is a deforestation. Number of reasons are there which may deteriorate our standard of living, and it affects the environment. So unless and otherwise each individual they should realize that we should conserve the energy and we should not misuse that particular non-renewable energy, because the nature has given a gift of this particular energy through land. When you start polluting, after 3 or 4 generations, they cannot survive. So in order to make our life better and to get the better standard of living, it is needed they should conserve energy, and we have to migrate from non-renewable energy to renewable energy. Then only we can survive. This is my individual opinion.
Sir,
Yes.
one final question, sir. So the thing is, we all know that we should invest money in oil production or all that, simply because our society cannot function without at some base level. But do you think it would be wise to spend more funds on renewable sources, like move some of the oil money into research and development for better renewable sources of energy?
Already I answered for this question, but I will repeat again. We need energy to survive, because already we developed to a great extent. So we have to invest for the extraction and transportation of energy. If you stop it, then we'll become the less developed country. And for each and every, for our basic amenities to fulfill that particular thing, we have to invest for extraction of energy, because today non-renewable energy is mandatory compared to renewable energy, because even for renewable energy we have to invest more on R&D, but when we will get the solution for it, we don't know, because it's in the hands of the Almighty. So it is mandatory that we should invest, otherwise we'll be stagnated. So we may say better not to invest in that, but for each and every action, it is backed by the particular energy. As I said, having coat, picture, umbrella, and bureau, everything is manufactured. For each product, we need energy. We have to produce that. Suppose it is raining, you need umbrella. Umbrella will not come all of a sudden. There will be a steel, there is a cloth, there is a handle, there is a spring. For everything you have to produce. Where you will produce? You will produce in an industry. For industry production, you have to give energy. For that extraction, it's not possible to stop. We have to invest.
Okay, sir. Thank you for your time, sir. It's been a pleasure to have you here, and thank you for giving us this time. We're all really thankful and grateful for this. We'll thank you for supporting our GP project. Guys, your final remarks, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I have a question. After the meeting is over, can you quickly send the recording to this Gmail?
Definitely, I will send.
Thank you.
This is my final remark about this particular fossil fuel system. Actually, 2 to 3 years back, we faced Corona. By the time we are not able to use the transport and we haven't moved from our residence, at that time, the energy conservation is very considerable. We have very bad effects due to Corona, but there are some area where we gain some some benefits are there. That pollution level is reduced considerably, the ozone layer get thicker, and people, even though they suffer with the corona, the rest of the metabolism is very good. So what I want to say is, unless it is needed, don't use the energy. Wherever you want to go, nearby a shop or a school, please walk or use cycle. Don't use two-wheeler or four-wheeler. This is the easiest
Yes,
way
sir.
to conserve energy. We can improve our health as well as we can conserve the energy. Thanks for the opportunity given, because I really feel so happy. I'm for the past more than 2 decades I'm lecturing in university. In those time I may get some happiness, but today I feel so happy. Why? Because children like you are asking about that fossil fuel system. It's a very it's a hot plate today, and a youngster like you are asking about this, and I'm sharing my idea. I really feel the day is good for me. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. I will send the recording within 15 or 20 minutes to that particular.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
May God bless you, children. Thank you.
Thank you,
very
sir.
much.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, and welcome. Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Okay,
Bye,
bye.
sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye. Bye.